Okay, so hello everyone, good evening. Yeah, this is the second time, right? So this second time of it is the group A, yes, the second time reviews of the French online Go League. Hello, good evening. And we had a review the last time for 4 games, right? And I today brought 5 games for you. And I checked many interesting ideas from your games. And I hope you also enjoy it too. Okay, so the first game is Pate Wing versus Zoges, and second is Makyu and Ajite, and then third Lichi Greg, and fourth Makyu and Pate Wing, and last one Najite against Greg. There are many things, so probably it's gonna be a lot of things that you guys need to remember. Yes. Okay. But I heard that it's not usual, so maybe you can try to learn much harder this time. But the next time is gonna be more relaxed. Okay. Yep. Okay. So then let's take a look at the game. The play between Patewing and Zoge, or Jororo. The game Black on by Rejuvenation. And there are some mistakes and Joseki part. The white made Joseki mistakes on the low right area, sorry. So after white approach this and black respond here. Oh, this pincer is quite new one. So is there anybody knows about the proper way from against this move? So in the actual game, white played all 5 here to jump, and black answers, and it's like this. And as you can see, this pincer, the formation is quite good, right, for black. But white cannot extend it to this way. So the O5 and this result is good result for black. So here, the first question, how should white continue? R3 not bad, R3. This one, yeah, that's also good. And black answer, and here, how to continue. Do you know that, Roma? O3 and black gonna separate for sure. And if you don't know how to continue, that would be, it might be problematic for white. Uh, So it's difficult, is it? White jump and black push, maybe. And then the right side is getting bigger, all right? So, so O3, R3 it's possible, but in general, why needs to continue? Like key sticks were just practically blocked like this. But this result is, according to AI, is not that good result for white. Maybe it's not good enough, especially this situation, right? There are big framework for white area. So after R8, uh, white could play P3 or O4. There are 2 possibilities. Maybe you guys need to just remember that. So after white cover, then black attach. If white cane, then black gonna cross cut. And Atari and extend and looking for this and this MI. And then white captures, and then black continue, maybe. Like this. Something like that. It's also okay. And also white could play just easily like that. And black gonna jump here and then approach here. So it's quite okay for both. Okay, so second question, what if black played here directly? A touch and cut. Would you capture? Would you capture this stone? Then it's gonna be okay for black, right? So white, even though white got the Bonuki over here, but black got very nice border in their big territory. So according to AI, it is good for black because the A is still open, which means the low side is not that big. So white should play it here. Exactly. Then it's gonna be same as the different like this. Then they turn as this result, right? This joseki. So double approach in this way, and then black can consider this one or a touch like that. You can choose one of them. So we already checked that the right one is the 04 instead of 05. Okay, Patwin, you need to remember this. And after this, and even white pincer, because there's no way to extend it here to this way. So white has to pincer, but after black jumped out, it's not that easy. White extend and black gonna cover here. And this A group has no bases and they're not that even strong. So probably difficult for white. So I suppose that's why you tenuki, right? It's already difficult how to continue, right? Okay, then Jororo pincer, and here it happened like this. And there are Joseki patterns here. And there her second mistake, which is P14. You wanted to fight, okay. You wanted to fight, but it was not enough because you had a very weak group, right? As long as you have a very weak group, which you have to take care of them, and even then it's more difficult. So you need to find the where you can fight, where you can fight in better position. That's really important. If you feel that you have a weak group, then it's very difficult to fight. And here the second mistake, here the P14. Here like A group and B group, and there are two weak groups, right? And then you're going to try to play here and then here. It just makes your A and B groups weaker. And white has to jump and black jumped out. And you pincer, but black gonna just surround it. Like this. So black is changing to this way. You are playing like 3 moves, maybe here, five times here, but they don't make any points. Black play there, and you got reduced your potential on the upper side area, and black got the influence. So up to this result, the game is very difficult for white already because you made a joseki mistakes and some positional judgments that you need to that you should have made in better way somehow. But you didn't, so that's why the game became very difficult for white. Okay, and so it happened. So I thought that it's gonna be very easy for black. And here, this, and here, but Roman made a huge mistake, which was this one, L16. Black should have blocked it here. Black should have blocked it. Put white A stones into the cage. It is very difficult, very important. So black played there, so white got a chance to separate it. So after white got those two moves, now how do you feel? So white black got separated, right? A and B groups, right? The B groups became very weaker. And A is also not in a line. Roman continued here. Okay, but here, continued like this. So black leave upper side, but now white got a chance to attack this black's group or something like that. And black answer, then maybe white can take the low side area. Very, very natural way. Black, even this one, well founded, their ideal point on the low side. But it was not that good, that's why it continued here. Maybe white could play O4. O4. So, and they're looking for A. And black answers, then now I can peep, maybe peep once more here, and then jump out like this. It's more difficult for black, isn't it? In the actual game, black played here, and then got a chance to separate this. So you didn't manage to surround black, right? That means your A group still in danger. So that's the huge difference, actually. So compared to this variation, this variation, and then you're taking the low side area, right? And you're attacking this A group. The situation was not that good for white, but now at least you can aim. You can try to kill this ace group or trying to build it your low side area as a very great territory. That's really important. But this one, so Roman got a chance to separate here. That worked actually. And here's your last big mistakes, which was this one. The order was wrong. You should have peep this way first. Peep here, black connects, and you peep here. And then now you get these variations, right? So I think this is very, very difficult for black. So black shouldn't play like that. Black should also resist. But the result is much better than the actual game in this way. White peep and Roman found this. This was very, very grateful. The black didn't continue. It's a resist. The black resist, and that worked. And it's pretty nicely. And white peeped, and now black got a chance to even the wedge. And connected, and here. So black could give pressure very, very physically there. And white couldn't really fight it. White captured this stone, but black invaded here. So the A group was in danger, but now it connected with B group corner, but now it's even black white is losing these stones. Okay, so did you understand how it went? Yeah. So the order was wrong order was a very, very mistake here. So at least connect at least here. Maybe still okay. Then I think that black gonna play here and fight and then pick or something like that. Or here and then fight like this also. And black answers, and now I can even try to make it more complicated situation. So you need to shake the goban somehow, especially when you're behind. Make it more complicated as much as possible. But then now it became very simple, right? Like connected and became very stronger. And then now even black is attacking your group. And then you are losing actually everything, your potential on the low side that you have. Okay, and then I think that after that, Roman played pretty well. So guess and here, and even came out and here, and you overlooked this one, right? So I think now it's game over. In the after, there are some moments that black might got captured or something, but actually it's already quite good enough that black has a point. Okay. Okay, so I think this is the end of the story. And maybe you can move to the other game. Do you have any questions over here or anything? Yeah. So there are three moments actually in Joseki part, and when you found some great ideas that you can try to make the complicated the games, and maybe you can uh, have a great opportunities. Uh, so that part, how you can make it, please have a look at more. Okay, that would be more worth it for you. Okay, that was the first one, and then the second one is the Makyu, and Aztec, and then Makyu won by regulation. And also they came the big mistakes in black, the opening stage. It was the low side area. So let's take a look at the game how it went. So it was like this. It seems that 3-3 is very popular in French Go League. I could see that very often this one. And then okay, so here the push one time was very good, and then continue. And black continue, and white played this one. And here, uh, black played at m3 here. How do you feel? Isn't that too much? I feel too much. Maybe Ajite, you are very ambitious. I felt okay. Oh, to me it's a little bit too much. Okay, so and then white entered for sure, and then after that, at least black should have jumped out by playing here and white and then fighting like that, and then white gonna pincer and fight. But I think this is also quite difficult. Yeah, black got separated, and then white will take the left side very naturally, as you can see, right? So I suppose that's why I just try to something over here, like a very physical move. But actually, it didn't really work here. So here, and mark you, you played here. You didn't even have to attack here. So you can just play h4, the stretch. But that would have been even better for white. And then the question is how to continue after this move for black. Should black continue to block here? Or should black fix his own weaknesses? And then white gonna bend here and looking for A, right? And black a touch, probably then white gonna attack it. As you can see that black is already in trouble. Okay, the other way then white gonna attack it and connect it. And now this A stone is dead, right? It's got captured. And still this group has weaknesses. So black probably should continue. But this result is definitely not enough for black. So black should have played here. Then at least black could keep the bases on the low side. And then black could come from A side to try to gain something from this way. But black approach here, and white got a chance to play here. And now black has to give it up something, one of them. But there are all expensive. But Makyu played here, so therefore black got a chance to block here and surround it. Maybe this was even better here in Atari, and then like this. White plays here, then black captures, and like this. This variation is much better for black. So it happened like this in the real game. But connect, then white can Atari and cut and fight. Okay, that's a quite okay, but actually black also, I mean, it's very acceptable. Let the white connected on this because black is taking the outside of the influence. Even though white attach here and try to grab B stone, but there's some arty still in the low right corner side. Okay, and then continued like that, and black invaded, but it feels like the upper side area is more often open and important. So I would actually pincer here. But what is, yeah, well, why not C12? Because here's low is open here. So maybe the two stones are still weak. So black could probably play here. Okay, so Makyu, you reacted pretty well, but here you made a huge mistake. Okay. Yeah, okay. So black's trying to live inside. But how do you feel? Do you think that you have enough points, or you need to keep some influences or thicknesses somehow? How do you think? You have not enough points. If he leaves more, okay, yes, okay. And then you play there, and he got a chance to uh, separate here. So in this case, just block it here. I assume that you also thought about it, right? But somehow you didn't choose this one. But I actually didn't understand that the reason. Even I couldn't even guess it. The reason that you didn't play here. Because black needs to play here, then Hane. But then you can keep the pressure like this. Or let black live in front. Or like this, or stretch here. And black slide it probably. But this actually not enough for black. So you could keep the outside. The influence A against B. So B's potential is not really big enough already. Okay. You got that the answer somehow differently. But I think this is the only move. This doesn't work because of this. And the other way also can block here. So this fighting, I don't think that is working for black because you can kill this black skull. I think the capturing rate is gonna be okay for gonna be good for white. Okay. And here, and then this one, and cut. Now you got the black got a chance to make this something, right? But still, you should have go down and probably still fine. You could keep the two stones somehow. Still, yeah. Even though the shape is not that good, but I think it's still quite fightable. And believing black played here in Hane, and then now it can come here. As you can see, there's a lower letter. So maybe you could endure it, something like that. Black blocked it. Oh, then you can tower here. Okay, it's negotiated. Not really, good enough for black. The Bonuki is also quite good. Okay, so you push, so therefore he got a chance to break your stone. And then it became very, very weaker, right? You got destroyed and you got very, very weaker. So the situation is not that really good for you. And after that, I think Agitate played pretty well. And then Pincer here and trying to separate it, this A group and this B group. The B group is also not in a line. And here, and then trying to cover and fight like this. But black should have continued actually here. The center is not that really important now because they're all connected A and B group in between. They are connected together each other. And black is maybe trying to kill this C group. And after black played D, and white needs to respond. Otherwise, black gonna separate it here, right? So K13, I suppose. Right? K13. And black plays here. And then bamboo. Okay, then black gonna separate here. Unfortunately, there's no cutting point for black, for white. And black can capture this stone and this stone. So it was not that good, actually. So, Makyu, you had a great chances to keep your thicknesses or influences in the outside, but you're trying to grab some tiny points and then you lost the entire thicknesses in the outside. So that's the reason why the game became very difficult because you got a weak group and you couldn't keep the enough territory on the left side, right? So always like if you feel that if you have enough territory, or maybe you got some points in the before, then you need to make the balances. So I have enough point. Okay, then now I need to keep some influences or thicknesses like that. Okay, it's like always like the balance important. Okay, it's difficult already, right? How to play or how would you play? We can just have a look at briefly over here. If you're white, it doesn't look pretty easy, but we can try it. So where would you play if you're white? M15? This one? Shape. Okay, acceptable. Okay, answer. The shape is painful, but okay. Keep connecting. And then now, do I need to continue? Probably. Doesn't look pretty easy. Difficult, right? And then Makyu. How would you continue? Sorry. What do you mean? Sorry. Please don't say resign. Not easy, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay, that reason. Okay. Here and here. So black didn't properly punish the white's group, so it became very very complicated. But you also uh, try to fought in very very fiercely, very hard way, but still not that easy because at least black took the upper side area. And then the corner is in safe in here, and also another mistakes. So this one's not necessary. At least E16 was better because it's sent there. So now black needs to block here and then leave it, right? Uh-huh. So I assume that you missed something over here, right? Overlooked it. And so now black leave even in center. So the game became even for black. So now black changed the turn the table. Now black is in the ahead. And then here even working. Well founded. Okay. And then here the cut to was working. And Atari here and then capture. But here R6 was a big mistake. The black should have played Q6. This one here. and they're looking for A to grab this B and then Hane by going C. So white answers, then now black can Hane and block here. Oh, then white can capture actually. I can kill the two stones here. But now black can separate it again. Now white lost these two stones. So it's not that really good for white. So probably white should give those two stones. But as you can see, this result is pretty much successful for black. But the Hane, the attached one, so white got a chance to connect it. This stone is not that necessary to keep it. These two stones must be a main target for black, not this guy, right? And also black should have used these black two stones somehow. Right? In the actual game, black attach and then connected, but for white, very happy, right? Or let black just connect it underneath and then keep the corner pretty nicely. That is a huge difference. Okay. So because the Ajite made a mistakes over here, and the game became very, very difficult for both for black too. But this cut was not that necessary because it's not locally working. For example, let's say black white win this code, then black can locally play here. And white plays here and black push. Now, how black can kill those two stones? Now, of course, black can take the order portraits while playing over here. But black could locally throw in here, right? And throw in an Atari. So the cut was not that working locally. Okay, and then here and it happened, but this one, black should have answered. Then probably the game is very difficult, very close to game for black. So this was the losing mobile. And then now black lost the whole group inside. And after black lost this group, and I counted, tried to count it, how many points that white is ahead. But it wasn't that not that pretty much. So I was very surprised. That means the how tough the game was for black. Maybe black had opportunity to come the table game, but after this group lost, then the game there's no chances. Okay, so that was the end of the story. Makio, please have a look at this idea. What I mentioned it here. You don't need to always. You don't need to keep your more points. If you feel that it's enough, and you got a chance to yes, normally play the E10. Good. Oh, at least. Okay, but just mainly you need to understand what I mean. So if you have enough points and keeping the influence or technique. Okay. Okay, and then to Ajite, there are some ideas on the low side. Please have a look about this one. Okay, so not I think it would be better to play somehow in very very calm way in the opening stages. I think would be more. It makes you feel much easier for you. I think that means you could maybe make it better open. Okay, and then that's it. We should keep running. We should keep running. We have still 3 games left. The third one that finally Greg and Litchi. Pleasure and yeah. There are also another mistakes in Joseki. Oh, okay. So why it made a lot of quite often that I found it mistakes in Joseki. Well, maybe today's lesson is gonna be very worth it for you guys. Okay, so let's take a look at this game. And the game played by Lichi and Greg. And Greg is like my resignation. Okay, so here it start with this. Again, pushing cut. So this Joseki. So maybe they're the Joseki master with this in this shape. Roman. I know that you're good at this this Joseki. And then white play there. And then black slided. And how to continue that? Okay. So this came very often. Very often. So it's very, very important to remember. So maybe we can check about this move, right? This is also possible. And black played there, and white play e6. And now how to continue, Roma? Oh, so we checked about these variations at last, previous lessons, right? But it was not good for black. Okay, so how to continue? Like b2 and this one, and white slide it for sure. Oh, I shouldn't answer like this because black can kill it. So I should play here. And then, should black play g3 or differently? G3, G3. Okay, then white plays here. And should you continue like this? Okay, then what if I touch this? Or d2? Okay, so I answer, then this doesn't work. This works actually because Atari doesn't work. Black can maybe kill this. Oh, it's not working actually. Okay, so it's Atari is working. So b3 is not working. And then probably black played b6. b6. Oh, and white leaves in the corner and black leaves in the side. But this result is not really good enough for black because white will take the outside, and yeah, it seems there's or the points are dried. So not enough. So maybe black can touch here first before black going to play d3. And if I answer, then now black can jump maybe or stretch. Okay, so white plays here, and now Atari. Why shouldn't connect? Instead, Hane and double Hane like this. And then black captures like this. And then black continues. This is a also one of the patterns after black cover and white pushing cut. Okay, like this. Okay, and let's make it even more simply. So b4. So then d2, d2. Yes, yeah, d2 instead of d3. Yes, it's quite playful for black, for both actually. But if black wants to then keep the corner, then black also could play e2. There are actually a lot of variations, and let me try to make it simple. White cannot block here because black can jump. So white should play here, then now black can play d2, and then knight move. Probably you already know about these two keys, the patterns. And I shouldn't block it here, so I should play here first and block it. And now black Atari here with this, and then white gonna Atari and throw in, white should throw in, capture, capture, capture. Oh, like this. So it's a variation. So it takes a lot of times if you remember everything, if you check everything. So let's make it simple. Okay, but the B3 is also possible. So here, but this was not the proper way. So instead, B4 is a right. Maybe you can just remember this one, litchi, this variation. And black should play here, and now we can play here. And of course, black can come out, but now you can jump because your corner is in safe, right? As you can see. And black needs to continue, but then now you can take the outsiders. I assume that you remember the situation how it went in the actual game, right? You lost basically everything. So we can go back a little bit how it went. So in the actual game, you pushed here and then push one time, and then black captured it. White answer. And now black played b5, which is very nice move. And because of this move, then now black can go b here, right? So the shape is not that good. So h2 was not that not necessary because you can always live in the corner. And b2, yes, maybe. You can even sacrifice it. Yes. Touch and then take b7. You know this pattern, right? And then black captures. Yeah, and then white pincer and cover or surrounded, something like that. It's working. I think it's at least better. Better than actual game. Okay. But this pattern, the b4, you can just remember only this one. It's make you maybe simple. Okay. So this one. Yeah, and then it happened like this. And now black got a chance to separate here, and not that easy. And black peep and jump here, and this one, because at the low side area, it's like a K2 is gonna be even sente A, right? So A is gonna be sente. That means B is maybe it's not that good enough, right? So why should I taken the left side? Then would that be maybe still fightable for whites? So here and black jump here and then took the left side pretty much in a natural way. So the game is very good for black now. And black's trying to separate here. But it was very well attempted because at least there are some opportunities that I can make it more complicated. So here's a question. In the actual game, white connected and black captured. So basically, there's nothing that white can do. Yeah, okay, right? So here's a question. So white to play, how would you play actually? Would you connect it and make it simple? Or maybe there are some cracks that you can use as a great clue to make the situations better. Being more like a credit. E9. Okay, so what is it? Does it help something after this? Okay, no. Okay, no. I heard no. Okay. Then, yeah, then H9. And uh, is there anybody has a great idea here that I can um, say resist something? Oh, day 6. Day 6. Exactly. Day 6. Atari. Meaning attack. Exactly. So Atari here and let black take the stone, and then white can counter Atari and then block it here. So how do you think this variation? White lost the connection for sure, but now there's still some sort of odds left by playing 8 BC, right? So it's not that clear or so, then black gotta separate here. It's gonna be very, very problematic for black. So black gonna play there, then white connected here. And as you can see that black can't save those resources because of the card, and then now K5 is working. So white had one of the great opportunity to make the situations better. So what was the problem? What was the mistake from black? This one. So this one. Black should have played h8 first, or at least pick this way, or play k8 and then something out like this. That would have been much easier for black. And black jumped out, and white got a chance to cross the touch. That was very nice move actually, but white missed this one. This one is very, very important. And then now probably black should play, I don't know, maybe black play here and then like this. But it doesn't really look good for black. So maybe give the 3 stones like that. But pretty much okay for white. White capture 3 stones. It's already alive, and white can continue. Yeah, it's pretty good for black, good for white. So yeah, correct. It was your problematic movement in this game. Okay, so there are some weaknesses that means you need to take care of it more seriously or carefully. Okay, I was unfortunate that you didn't find out. Yeah, would that be great if you had found counter Atari? And it happened like this. So game very, very difficult for white. And even Atari in this flow was very good, very sequence. Okay, and then even black could come out and kill these 2 stances. And white is trying to attack this, but black could be locally inside. Cross cut was a very good idea. I think in this Sabaki situation that Greg were played here. So I suppose that was very, very difficult for you, right, Rich? And here. And then group is already alive, and you lost these 2 stances, and black all got to see left area, right? Okay, and here. Greg, this is even better for. Then white gonna squeeze it for sure, but after black captured, and still black can peep here and got a chance to attack this B group. And even though white played first around this area, it doesn't really look good for me. Right? It's very thin, right? So that would have been better. But here, so white got a chance to get the better shape actually here. But Richie, you made also very big mistakes over here. You guess. So how would you protect your cutting points? You played actually at E13. F14, yes. F14 was so much better for white. Or maybe even you could play F15 or so. Because this cutting point is not working, as you can see. Black could try to something over here, but maybe you can fight like this. So you can arrange the shape by sacrificing some of your stances. So it's possible to play like that. But for sure, F14 is the easiest one. And the shape is much better because you play there, so now black got a chance to keep. Right, you have to pull back, and now black got separate. So after I think you lost the shape over here, the game is basically over. here. You attempt something later, but it didn't really work out in the end. Okay. And I found also another very interesting idea here. And white touch and black honey underneath. But there's a way that black could finish this game. Maybe you can take some time and think a little bit how to finish this game. And if the one who find this one, I think he's gonna be like a 5 down or 6 down. Okay. So physical move. Maybe Makyu, O3. This is technical move. Lichi is technical move. It's not physical move. And I think O3 is not that. It's out of topic in this area. This area. P8. Uh-huh. And Atari with N8. Okay, then white connects this. So black capture the stone. But can black still kill this white's group or make it the situations better? So let me show you the result first, how it went in the lecture game. The black Hane, it happened like this. So black live inside. So maybe it's still fine. But here, physical move. Maybe the shape is a little bit tricky. But if you see that this white group has not really enough liberties, then maybe you could try it. Think more a little bit differently. 09, yes, 09. Perfect. And after I cut, and I will continue. It seems you're in trouble because I can capture your stone or break through by playing B. 09, yes. This one. Yeah. This is the winning move. And then black could kill everything. So here, and what to do? First of all, connecting. Then black gonna block here, and then let's. So as you can see, there's no way out this way, and this way. Okay, so what else? That I can do? Atari, and black captured, and killed it, finished it. Okay, so Hane, and then just bomb. That was the winning. It's very nice, isn't it? It's a very. I could feel that physically that black could directly go and can kill it, right? Because white has not really very less liberties. So that means it might be get the pressure lot by like some strong moves. So here, after that, 9. No ladder, no that, and just put kill it like that. Okay, Hane, it happened like this. But it was not enough, right? And then here, here that I really wanted to tell to Greg how to arrange the game, especially when you're ahead, clear ahead. I assume that you felt it quite this moment. And then, how would you play actually? How should you do that actually for black exactly? The black is way ahead for sure. So, if the one who is quite ahead at the moment, the Goban, and that guy needs to try to make it simple and make it and make it clear. In the actual game, black played here R14 or O15 exactly. in this way. So black needs to just lock the door. And then, oh, you cannot come into the in my house, right? Just lock the door and say it. Oh, you cannot. Then make it simple. But then, oh, open it. Oh, okay, come in like that. It was too greedy. Too greedy. So R14, I suppose that Gracie is looking for attack already, right? And then R14 is a very, very problematic move because white can now try to separate here. So this one, I really, really wanted to say. And then, and to reach it here, you got opportunity, right? Already. Because he could just connect it, but now you got a chance to separate here, right? Trying to get something. So here, I just want tip. Which group is bigger, A or B? So you are going to separate between A and B. And which group is more important or bigger that you need to take care of it? Of course, A group, right? That means A group is way, way more important and bigger. So, not cross-cut and trying to go to the inside. Instead, trying to keep separating like that. And then black got party, and now not even connected. Lock here, and then like party like this. It's very, very important to get this kind of idea. But if you understand that you realize that which group already evaluated, A group or B group, or you made a plan, A group is bigger. Also, I have to capture the A group. Then you need to go for the A group for sure, not the others don't. And white cross cut, so now black are trying to connect it here. So now it became very, very strong. So white black is gonna giving away or the corner like that. And then it happened like this. So after that, the game is over. No chances. Okay. So this was the end of the story. So there are a lot of things, a lot of things actually. I think it's not easy to understand all. But, yeah. So some more important things that yes, need to really, really take care of it. Okay. So that was the end of the story, and there are some moments that on the fighting situations and how to give the counter punch to your opponents while you're getting pressure, you're in under pressure, and you need to pull back all the time, right? Like a gathering, but somehow you can counter punch, right? The moment that you could physically that you could try to something else that you need to check it a little bit more for sure in Joseki part as well. Okay, it. Yeah, it's good for everyone. There's a lot of things that we need to that we could check it the ideas from this game. Okay, so that was third one, and we need to keep running. We have still 2 games left, and this one was the game 3, but now we are going to game 4. The game played by Matthew and Tafiri again. Please ask me if you have any questions while reviewing. Okay, so there's a very, very ambitious moment in the beginning stage. It was like this. Black cover here and white answer here. So yeah, Patewing was black and Wakyu was white. Okay, Patewing, in the actual game you played, you chose the E8. And I feel like very, very ambitious. Oh, yeah. Here, right? And here. And then you're trying to keep the outside, right? And then let white just take the side. It's very tiny pawn in the territory. I'm going to take the center like that. And then what happened in the end? It's very ambitious. But the problem is that after white play there, it's not easy to continue already because the shade is broken, right? For example, black can't really block here because white can harm it. The way you're cutting this stone, it's an empty triangle, right? So the shade is already broken. So white is in a better position. So that means it was too ambitious. Maybe you could give the way like, the two stones, nothing for me. I can take or maybe you could go for like that. Maybe this was way better than actual game for sure because at least you could keep the outside, right? Even though you lost the two stones, uh, you can try play like that. But I think that is too much. Maybe it's possible, but especially I don't like this kind of the way to play. I always try to avoid it in this kind of situation. So maybe here's another tip for you. So E8 is also good idea, but how about the pincer first? So let white send to the middle area. Okay, then how would you play? How would you play if you're white? Would you jump or knight to move or two space jump? Whatever. You can try. The black is pincering now. So D10 or D8, E8, right? E8. Okay, that's a good point. And it's not the late, the way you cover. So, uh-huh, uh-huh. So this one. And then let white push to the uh, upper side area. You can send it to the upper side area. And then keeping your left side. Uh-huh. So basically, you could actually take the both. If you really wanted to try to cover your opponent's build and trying to take the influence like Takemiya Masaki. It's not the late. The D10, it's also not in a late. You can play here, and later you can cover by going 8, something like that. It's not that, it doesn't mean that it's correct, but I'm trying to understand your ideas, right? So you wanted to build the outside, so you could take the left side first, and still you got a chance to. You have a chances to surround here. So I really recommend to play in this way if you really want to take the outside. Okay. Well, I think that E8 was too ambitious. And then now I can play this. And then, what to do? Not that easy. So I would say that was the way very ambitious. But maybe it's too much. Okay, here. And then it happened like this. And here, Maku well reacted this time. Were perfect. This one. Not even like a C10. So B11 was a perfect idea. We'll play this time. Okay, and then black tried to connect it, but now I can surround here, as you can see, right? You are in trouble already. Because you lost the basis, which you could take it even or positively, right? You gave the basis to your opponent first and trying to attack. It doesn't really work actually for sure because he had already basis. So if you take the basis away first, then you could actually have more possibilities, more chances to give a pressure to your opponent. That's the difference. And then you try to something over here, but didn't really work out, right? Like you found the just perfect move here. So what happened in the end? Like this. So actually the game is over. And cover and here is I don't think that Makyudo you should fight like this. Actually, you could make it simple more. For example, you could play h15, trying to reduce the influences little by little. But this is way more powerful. But black could also fight. Okay, it happened here. Okay, this one, very good. And white leaf. Those are very detailed things also. The Hane was, the cut was right. Even the Hane is not working. So where they are. Because black can block it, right? And then white can try to do something like this, but black can kill it. So cut first and get the N19 incentive. It was very great idea. Otherwise, black can kill that white group. So L17 and Atari are well founded. And then play like that. Okay. But maybe just make it simple. And it is too much. Yes, make it simple. Or Kosumi. You already knew that. Too much. Okay. Yeah, it was already difficult for black. So it happened like that. We played it. But somehow Patwing tried to shake the Goban. It was kind of successful. Okay, but actually white could just make it simple. As you can see, like N9, right? There's no concerns anymore for white, right? So white leave the center and took the low side, so everything is fine. White push here, so now black got a chance to pick and then trying to attack this white group for sure. And isn't that not that easy for white as well? Okay, so here, this one, here, and here. In the first, the black should have connected here because it's sente. White could Han here and then separate everything. So black should connect and white jump here and then trying to kill this white group, something like that. It doesn't mean that it's working or not. It doesn't mean that it's working, but still this is the best chances for black. But I think white could lead. Okay, so here. Mark you for this one. Separate here. Is it? Black has a two weak group now, A and B. Now even the ladder is not working. I can cut here. Even the black Atari is here and Atari like doesn't really work out. And black has to come back, and now I can kill this group. Right? Okay, but anyway, so still okay for white. Hane was better than push. Hane is also working. There are two actually, this or this, and here, because that your goal is just clear, saving your group, right? That's it, right? Once you already realize that you have only one goal, saving your group, then make it simple, right? So Hane here, then you could even focus on more important thing, what you aimed it for already. That's it. Okay, but that's also working. Tricky. So white leave here. So the game is over. So Pating, your plan was very ambitious, but I don't really recommend it playing that way because it's very difficult. Maybe you can calculate it very precisely. If I make this much of the influences, and I can maybe recover that when I lost it. But actually, there is only one possibility if you play in this way. For example, E8 and white extended here. And then you need to build it your own influences somehow, right? Because you already gave the points to your opponent. Okay, well, go for it. You have question? Okay, so what is your question? Black pincer, okay. D11. Or you can tenuki. You may tenuki because you can treat this side as a just territory, a black's territory. Yes. For example, N17 or R10, right? So something like that. You could play in that way, and black can also try to keep this white stone, and you can, as you already made a plan, you can treat this side as a just territory like that. Yeah, you can just give it away. Oh, okay, it's your territory. I can look for the elsewhere like that. Or you can play this definitely for sure. Yeah, right. So then would have been better for for Pate, right? So you're going to surround this white stone, right? With this move, but he tenuki. He wanted to tenuki actually, but then now you get the better shapes, right? So pincer first, it makes it actually simple, and then at least you're not losing any points, right? So it's very important. So giving away just too much in somehow very ambitious way, but it's really hard to recover it, right? You already lost the point. Oh, you got the influences here, but how to continue it? Not easy. How to recover it? Uh, so pincer and let white jump out, and even now you got a chance to surround here, right? Or even like a G5 like that. You could take your time. This invasion points, then you can respond like this, right? It doesn't really uh, have a that you have the concern here. Okay. That's it. You have more questions? I think this is very, very important. E4 2, E4. Ah, yes. Yeah. You need to use them somehow for sure because you gave the points to your opponent, right? But E8 directly was too. First pincer, that you need to use your own influences somehow, right? The best way is gonna be attacking, right? So you're giving the pressure to A and let white go to the leap to the center area, and then still you can try to just cover and then trying to get the profit. That's the right idea. Okay, that's it. And then finally, uh, it's not too much take a lot of time taking a lot of time to make a review, or maybe you can show the briefly somehow. Please let me know if you have any uh, opinions. Okay, so anyway, we are going to finally it's the last one for today. The last game is Azite and Greg's games, and then white won by only 0.5 points in the end. Wow. There are even more a lot of things. Let's make it simple. I'm trying to make it simple. Okay. The opening stage, we can go for it. We'll look at quickly here, and then another Joseki, and then extend here and put extended here, and then black pincer, and like this. White kick one and push. Okay, push. Oh, okay. So I have a different idea about actually, it's why not? It's possible. P5, but actually, I would play around R7 area or Q7 area, like this, because first it's big, and second, if you take your cave tier 3 or A area, then you can develop it on the low side and give more pressure to black's group, because there's no way to push here. I can respond it, right? With very nice move. So not better to play J3, 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 J3. This one is black instead of P4. Here instead. Black could, black could play. Or maybe one exchange and then J3, like that. It's also possible. It's one of the other possibilities. But if you like to keep the thickness, then you can play P4. Or if you can play very speedy and very lightly flexibility, then you can play J3 for sure. It's all possible. Okay, and then after white pincer, and the way black is answering over here by going O5, I think the shape is very good for black already. It's not easy to continue. Maybe till Q7 or K5 like that. Let black cut this one and then giving away the stone and then taking the influences like that. And then white, at least white could keep the low side area, right? Something like that. White played this one. White played this one, and black honey. And there's no cutting point. That's quite unfortunate. So black could honey, and even here, there's still another cutting point here, A and B. And the shape is not that really enjoyable, right? Well, I need to respond somehow, but not easy. How to respond it? Q7, Q7. How would you play? Not easy. So I assume that that's the reason why white answers here, right? But then black cut. The cut was very, very powerful. So I think after black cut here, the game is very, very good for black. Yeah. So here's my solution, my answer. After Hane and black answer, and there's no reason to continue because you can't really kill this A stone, A group, right? It's just pushing to this left side. You're taking the center area by playing some moves over here, but there are still some cutting points and came out, and this C group is became weaker, right? So pushing to from this way was not a good idea, I think, because white is pushing from behind, and then there are some still cutting points. So in this kind of situation, why should I play somehow very flexibility like that? And then of course there's still cutting point or maybe push here, but white doesn't need to continue. Maybe I can play d6 and it's all mine, isn't it? It's a way more simple and better for white. Because you can just threat threat to like very light stones in center area, because you can always enter into the center area from any directions, right? So you can threat always like that. Playing very simply and lightly because you can just give away. You took already low left corner side very, very nicely. So it's gonna be always like a difference depending on how you threat your stones or group or area. If you think that is, if you treat this as a very light stone group, you can just always give it away. Yeah, right? So in this case too. Okay, and then here, and black caught. It happened like this. So now white got very weak group here. And then h6 was very, very powerful and nice. And black is looking for this Atari here, right? So white needs to respond. The q4, they're all sentenced, and but the Atari was not good, and not necessary. Black should have played here. And would have been, for black already. But Atari made more odds here. For example, white can cut here later. Later, white cuts, and black can't block it because of the cutting point. The one remove liberty made a huge difference. The Atari was not necessary. And then black connected, that's why, but now white can even cut. This was very big. So white recovered already a lot. So I would actually take a white now because black didn't really use it on his advantageous situation. And then now white had to, black had to enter, and then it happened like this. So black got right side, and white got low side and corner. But corner, there are some odds, right, still? Maybe black should have played directly. Maybe. That made a huge difference because in the end, white took the P2. It's a very great endgame. So how should black play in the corner side, the corner area in this case? How about the conclusion? What is the perfect conclusions for both? Do you have any ideas? 100 years code, exactly. And even what's the best about it is Sente. So black could play S2, a touch, and white should play here, and black can play here. And white can't play here because of this, right? So it doesn't work because of self-atari. So white should Hane. But then black can atari here. 100 years code, yes. White plays here, then now it's already called. Black may tenuki. Isn't it? White can't really touch it. But black can try it only. White has no choices. Can enforce it. Even more actually. 1,000, I would say. Yeah. There's a very huge difference. Do you understand that, Greg? What the difference it is? Greg? It's very important to know about these shapes. At least you could make the shapes in Sente. Black flag here and white answer and the answer. And this one was also very small. Center area is way more important. For example, push here and then cut. Maybe cut or hane, tiger's mouse, and looking for this cutting point later. And that would have been so much better for black. Maybe R11 is painful, but it's also quite acceptable because black can just live inside. White reduce some points over here, but not that really too much. Yeah. Black answer, so white got just cover. That was very, very huge. Do you see what difference is? Black played here or J9 and these shapes. If we compare the variations or results, how do you feel? Black is in trouble, right? Black is in trouble. And then even Hane and this was very good. And it happened like this. In fact, the black should have played like that. But I assume that Greg, you didn't like it, right? So I'll try to do something differently, but this cut very, very powerful in here. And then now I have an opportunity to make this game over. How to finish it? Maybe you can find it the best way. In the actual game, I play F4, but black could Hane and a party and then connect it. So it happened like this. So black live inside. Okay, so what is the best way for white? E4, E4, knight move. Okay, then black plays here, and Hane, and Hane. Oh, it's also possible. It's also possible. But there are even better way. Atari is simple. Yes, F3, F3, F3 directly. Oh, this is also, but white couldn't surround it, right? Surround black group nicely. Yeah, white has to somehow pull back. So here's the answer. There's Atari directly, Atari. And then block it. Isn't that difficult to find? I think it's not really difficult one, right? The Atari and block here. In fact, not. It's Atari and black plays this. It's Atari bad. Atari is what? Who say the Atari is a bad move? Okay. Okay. So then white captured and then connected, and now black is in trouble. So yeah. So black had to connect and then white captured. So, at least black could capture the rest of two stones, but they're not that really important anyway. So white keep the or territory on the low side, in the left side too, or something like that. There is actually huge difference compared to the actual game. The actual game went like this. Yeah, here. And white saved the two stones, but black gained many points locally inside here. But somehow still very good for white because in this situation, Adite played really, really well played. For example, Hane and then double Hane. That was very, very good move. Well played. Because you believe that you are stronger than your opponent, so you could physically give measure like that. Not like a cut or a tardy like this. Then black gonna reduce white's influences in the middle. So directly double Hane and then manage to capture this stone. So the game is basically over already. But from this moment that both of you actually start to make a lot of mistakes. The first one, correct, connect. That was much better for you. And I can play here, and capture. Not really big deal. But in the actual game, black play here. So, but it's two things. I can break through. I can play here. So maybe black should have played. Still black should have played here, right? Black couldn't really avoid the situation like here. What different is that why can Atari here? That makes huge difference in the end. So we'll see here Atari. So here's a question: can black connect here? Can black save them? So cannot or not or can. There's something variation. No. No. Are you sure? Oops, misclick. It's so cool. Yes. Oh, but how? How to make the call? Throw in, yeah. Throw in and then yeah, A6. A6 directly here. Okay. Then black Atari. Black Atari and here. Yeah, so it's call. But even white doesn't need to make the call something like this. White could block it here from the outside. That's still call. Black Atari, and now I can Atari here. As you can see that black can't say this says Rager connected here because of support, right? So it's like a viewing flower call. So it's not possible to manage it. So that's why the B10 was a big mistake. So if it happens like this, there's no way to make the call. Otherwise, I can make a call, right? It's Tane is needed, right? So black can respond it. That's different. But good point. Lich A6 and Husumi is also call. Yeah. This one is also not working. Like an Atari and then go down. And then now I can Atari from hardware. So it's not working. So it's call. So black couldn't connect it. So it happened like this. And Atari here and here. So it seems like Agite played very, very well in the actual end game stages. So the game is basically over already. But still there are chances that Pateri, no, Greg to win this game because there's still always score. 1,000 years score is always left in the corner. So they are saying like, oh, ping me. But nobody didn't pick that. Yeah, so black could make the call instead. That's a huge difference, isn't it? So in fact, white could just live here now. Here. And then it's gonna be pretty good enough for white. And white play there and here, and then now I leave. This was the game, right? This was the game. Yes, right. Here, it's black. Black should have played here too. So that was the last opportunity. Because in the end, in the end game stages, Agite lost many points. Yeah, exactly. Because anyway, a center for black. Yeah. So finally, white found this one, so the game is over. But it was only 0.5 points in the end. Okay. So maybe we can finish this review after we check the technical moves over here, right? Because I think it's I tried to find the way that black could win by or 0.5 points, something like that. I think that this was not possible because white lost actually many points in the end game stage. So I can say that black had the chances. Okay, so here the last questions for you guys is here is the white's turn. In the actual game, white play in 17 and a touch. So black could hane here. So it happened. So it became this result. So here's the question. I found a very nice move. And white could basically destroy black's territory or at least separate it here to keep this ace turn by very, very nice technical move. So here's the question. So if you're white, how would you play? There are some several possibilities actually, but there's the best way for sure. So, white to play. I looked up P18. This one. Really? This one? Oh, let me try to follow your idea. This one, and here, and here. You're looking for something like that, right? And then connect it. Ah, then I can make it. But unfortunately not. Okay. You have only four, and you can't remove the black's riveries directly, right? But this doesn't work. So there's no way to kill the distances. P17, right? That's correct. The P17 of the first one was correct. Okay, so what if black played, oh, maybe P80? Like the extra key? Cross cut? Cross cut? Or which cut? This one? Oh, this one, then white capture, black capture. There's nothing that I can do in the corner, right? Okay, but what makes the difference is the sequences. The P18, and now there is a very great essential point for white. Okay. Oh, let me try to give you some minutes. I can't really keep my patience to tell the solutions. N18, yeah, exactly. N18 was a solution. Yeah, we found N18. But actually, you could play P16 first. That's the even better. And here, a black should block here, but then now we can go N18, isn't it? And black should play here, then now I can pop here and capture the system. It's working. Maybe black can still separate the unconnected bunnies, but it's completely different compared to that. Yeah, so this one. A P18 and P16 and 18. So this sequence is really important because why the touch here first and the touch here. So now black got a chance to respond somehow different way. So in this case, usually the most of time, it's not all the time, but usually looking for the outside first. What you are wanted to take the stones from the other side first, not directly from this side instead. Because you can use your stones as a sacrifice stone, trying to achieve take the main your goal, the stones. Okay, so here then now I can play here instead of N18. Now I can play N17. Now call and capture. It's working exactly in different way. In the other way, what they involved it in the same fighting. At least you could might have a look. That's already enough. Okay, so there are a lot of things that we checked today, and I would say it's very worth it to check all the variations and the ideas today's games, and some important moments that I think that I already mentioned about already, but some ideas for clearly that you guys need to has to understand or remember. Otherwise, you're going to make the same mistakes again and again, over and over. So that's not the really best way to improve your own goal, right? Or skills. So please have a look at the ideas again by yourself and then trying to understand it. Okay, that's already good enough for you. Yep, that's it. And is there any question? This was the last review of the second November on French online Go League, right? When is the next? When is the next? Already began already, right? For the December. So the next week, next week. I start already started. Okay, okay. So do we meet the next week or so? Okay. Yep. Okay, then well, I hope you enjoyed it and see you next time, hopefully. And have a good night and bye bye.